Hello friends, welcome to the next aspect of polymer in cosmetics as we were discussing about the different application of polymers under the aegis of polymer process engineering. Now before we go into the detail, let us have a brief outlook that what we discussed previously. We discussed about the polymer uses in textile, we discussed about the brief history of man-made fiber. Then we discussed about the various terminologies and definitions used in the textile application of polymers. Then we discussed about the fiber in manufacturing, where we discussed about the different modes through which all the fibers which are especially made from the polymers, they are being manufactured. Then we discussed about the characterization and testing of all kind of textile fibers. Apart from this, we discussed about the man-made fibers and high performance fibers. In this particular segment, we are going to discuss about the polymer in cosmetics. Apart from this, we will discuss about the polymer surfactant in interaction. Then we will discuss about the polysaccharide-based polymers in different type of cosmetics. Use of polymers in cosmetics. Apart from this, we will discuss about the protein modification in cosmetics. Apart from this, we will discuss so many examples and case studies which are relevant to this particular aspect. You see that the cosmetics, they are an integral part of our day-to-day life, whether we are using the shaving or a lady's cosmetics and all those things. So, and this is, I mean, you can say that everyone in this Indian context is being using all these kind of cosmetics. So, the cosmetics can be defined. The question arises that how we are defining the cosmetics and what are those cosmetics. So, the cosmetics can be defined as a science that deals with the articles that are intended to apply on human body for beautifying, cleansing, promoting, modifying the appearance. Apart from this, the treatment of our human body, especially the skin and other aspects. Now, the polymer plays a very crucial role in the formulation of all these cosmetics, because these cosmetic products, they may contain the different type of polymers in their formulation as per their intended functions. Now, the polymers they are used in cosmetic formulations are as maybe as a rheological modifier, stimuli responsive reagents, they may be as the film formers, foam stabilizers, then skin feel beneficial agents. So, it can be used in any aspect of cosmetic application under formulation. Now, broadly in cosmetics, polymers can be classified into 4 different types. One is the synthetic polymers, second one is the polysaccharide-based polymers, third one is the protein, and fourth one is the silicones. So, in this particular figure, there are the typical classification has been presented in the pictorial form. You see the different application of the cosmetic. There are variety of the cosmetic, n number of cosmetic products available as on date into the market. And if you go to the shopping arcade, you will find the majority of the shops, they are attributed to the cosmetic products. Now, monomers usually they are the building blocks of the synthetic polymers. We are very much aware about this thing. So, the polysaccharide have been the cosmetic used for ages and ages, and they play a very vital role in the development of personal care formulation. When other ingredients they are added to the polysaccharide, their properties are modified and drastically changed, which makes them more suited for various kind of cosmetic application. So, the polysaccharide-based polymer in liquid form, they may exist as a loose rigid helices or randomized coils. They can be cationic, they can be non-ionic, they can be anionic, they can be amphoteric. So, they depend on the chemical identity in their native group, and their properties can be modified by the temperature, concentration and the salt present. The use of protein, they basically is derived from the milk, egg and so on. For his hair, skin care, this has been well known from the ancient times. Now, the protein extracts from animal fats, plant oils and mineral pigments have promising application in this particular field and therefore attract the attention for many researchers. By making use of amphoteric and buffering properties of protein, a number of products providing glow, softness, and conditioning to hair have been developed. So the use of silicon-based material in hair skincare products has been well known since mid of the 20th century. Now, polydimethyl siloxane or dimethicone was the first silicon family that was commercially used in the cosmetic industries. In late 1940s, Revlon launches the Silicare skin lotion, which became extremely popular and attracted the interest of customer and manufacturers. And they observed when dimethicone is used as an ingredient, it provides the protection to the skin, it provides the nurturing to the skin and develops a breathable barrier on the skin. In 1950, the sudden date, a silicon-based lotion spray entered into the hair care market, which gave birth to a new area of research, that is the application of silicons. Now, because the polymer and surfactant, they are also an integral part of the cosmetic products, so it's better that you must understand the affinity or interaction aspect of polymer surfactant. So the use of polymers in cosmetics is mainly governed by the polymer surfactant interaction, and surfactant are commonly used in the skin cleansing product, spreading agent, emulsifier, as they break up the oily component and make it easy to wash, because the skin may have the surface energy, and to alter these surface energy, it's necessary to have some sort of a surfactant effect, and that's why we used to apply the soap and other things over the skin. So the surfactant, they are classified based on the charge present in its hydrophilic group, and surfactant interaction with the polymers, they are controlled by either van der Waals forces, dispersive forces, hydrophilic effect, and dipolar and acid base and electrostatic interaction. There are several factors that play a mutual role in affecting surfactant and polymer interaction. One is the chain length of the surfactant, because also these surfactants are based on the chain structure. Now, here, if the polymer is uncharged, then the binding concentration of the ionic surfactant in homogeneous series decreases with the increase in the chain length of the surfactant. Number two, the structure of the surfactant, in which the nature of the head group in the surfactant govern the interactions of the surfactant with uncharged or water-soluble polymers. The non-ionic surfactant are unreactive towards a simple uncharged polymer, while anionic surfactant are strongly reactive towards the cationic polymer, but weak or non-reactive to the non-anionic polymers. Third part is that polymer characteristics, this includes the weight of the polymer used, that is a minimum range of weights of a polymer is required for the interaction to occur. And as you know that polymer is composed of the different chains, so there must be a number average molecular weight or a weight average molecular weight. So this must meet out the desired criteria. The amount of polymer, where the amount of polymer and surfactant must be the same for effective interaction between the two. The polymer structure, as there is a definite difference in the reaction affinity of polymer and surfactant. The added salt, where the addition of salt affects the interaction between the ionic surfactant and polymers. Now, the use of polymer in cosmetics is purely discussed based on their classification. Like we have discussed 4 different classification in the previous slides. So first one, let us take the first one, that is a synthetic polymer. In 21st century, the use of synthetic polymer is tremendously increasing in cosmetic industry and in the personal care products. Synthetic polymers, they are classified in 2 major types. One is the condensation polymers or additive polymers, like water-soluble polymers like polyvinyl pyrrolidine (PVP), polyvinyl alcohol (PVA), polyethylene glycol (PEG), polyethylene oxide (PEO). They are blended with the natural polymers like collagen, elastin, keratin, silk, and gelatin to make them thin film, hydrogel, or other formulation used in cosmetics. Here you can see the basic structure of PVA, polyvinyl, pyrrolidone, then polyethylene glycol, and polyethylene oxide. Mostly, synthetic polymers are used as thickening agents by different mechanisms like chain entanglement, covalent cross-linking, and by an associative mechanism. Now, let us talk about the thickening by the chain entanglement or chain enlargement. Now, the chain entanglement usually is a simple and straightforward mechanism to achieve the thickening in polymer. For cosmetics, the polymer chain are dissolved into the solvent like water, alcohol with low molecular weight or combination of both that provides the soft entanglement. Then the viscosity of the solution increases with increase in the concentration of polymer because more chains are occupied in less space. Now, with increase in the polymer concentration, the separate individual polymer become difficult because of the shear force generated over the given area. Thus, the increase in molecular weight, this play a crucial role in chain entanglement. Now, let us talk about the thickening by covalent cross-linking. Now, thickening by covalent cross-linking can be realized when two polymer chains are attached to each other by interaction of a bifunctional monomer which reacts with both the chains, radically modifying their properties. Then, like vulcanization of rubber, this is the most familiar example of functional cross-linking. Rubber is in the form of natural gum. It is a tacky flowing resin when harvested from the natural rubber tree. Now, when this is heated in presence of sulfur, it gets covalently cross-linked and makes the rubber used for the automobile tires. Covalent cross-linking is, you see, is one of the most important way to achieve thickening. Now, let us talk about the thickening by associative mechanism. Thickening can be achieved by an associative mechanism, hydrophobically modified polymers that provide surfactant-like behavior they are used. Now, this associative aggregation, this affects the viscosity of the solution, spreading behavior, film thickening, and the feel of cosmetics. Now, an associative thickening is observed when the behavior of amphiphils and surfactant in aqueous solution is studied. A surfactant can perform two functionalities as a head group, that like this is the head. This as a head group, that is the hydrophilic attached to a hydrophobic tail group. This is the hydrophobic tail group, and this behavior is governed by the interaction of the surfactant in aqueous solution. Let us talk about the polysaccharide-based polymers. The polysaccharides are complex carbohydrates with the hydroxyl group that exhibit a strong interaction with water, and their good mechanical properties make them suitable for use in adhesives, fiber, hydrogels, or as drug delivery agent in cosmetics. Therefore, the polysaccharide-based polymer, they play a major role in cosmetic formulation along with surfactant, salt, and other polymers. Now, these multi-purpose polymers can be used in personal care products as thickeners, stabilizing agents, skin cleansers, sunscreens, and moisturizing ingredients. The use of polysaccharide is increasing rapidly in cosmetics and in turn growing the attention of the manufacturer towards these long lifespan, green raw material having the superior skin feel. So, the properties of the polysaccharide, they are influenced by the substituent group bonded to monosaccharides, and these substituents can be derived from nature or synthesized in laboratory. So, broadly polysaccharides are classified into 5 main categories. Usually when we talk about, because a broad spectrum of polysaccharides available as on date. So, the classification stream, study of the classification stream is quite necessary, and they are mainly the anionic, cationic, non-ionic, amphoteric, and hydrophobic. So, nowadays these products are gaining more and more impetus or a popularity in skincare resins against inflammatory disorders and skin aging. Let's talk about the anionic polysaccharides. So, anionic polysaccharides are mainly comprised of materials found in nature. These polysaccharides are made anionic by intervention of humans. The most commonly and commercially available polysaccharides are carboxyl methylcellulose or cellulose gum, carboxyl methylcetine, then carboxyl methyl glucane. Example of naturally occurring anionic polysaccharides, this include alginic acid, carrageenes, xanthine gum, tragicathin gum. Now, alginic acid is a linear polysaccharide made up of uramic and mannurenic acid for use in thickening agent in many formulations like toothpaste, soap, shaving creams, and hair gels. Let's talk about the cationic polysaccharides. The cationic polysaccharides that are used in cosmetic industries mainly consist of a group of synthetically modified polygons. Because nature does not provide any polysaccharide that can carry a cationic charge and contain nitrogen. For a polysaccharide to conduct a charge, it requires synthetic intervention, and the structure of cationic polysaccharide can be represented as per this particular figure. Now, chitosan is a cationic polyglucane found in the nature. It can be cationically charged up to the pH 7.0. Most of these polysaccharides are tightly bound to anionic surfaces. Let's talk about the non-ionic polysaccharides. The non-ionic polysaccharides, they are those that do not carry any kind of a formal charges. However, nearby charge that may affect their charge characteristics. There are certain rheology modifiers and thickness because based on the dry skin or a normal skin or oily skin, rheology plays a very vital role. So, there are certain rheology modifiers and thickness. They are main use of these they are the main users of these polysaccharides. Now, viscosity is usually associated with the ratio of amount of amylose or amylopectin used in cosmetic formulation. The higher the ratio, higher is the thickening. Guar-based materials and ether-modified cellulose, they are popularly used in synthesis of non-ionic semi-natural polysaccharides. Most natural non-ionic polysaccharides are not commercially used in personal care product but are used in expensive thickeners. There are certain factors those affect the behavior of non-ionic polysaccharides. These includes what kind of solvent you are using, what kind of the surfactant you are having, different type of the polymers, different type of the salt. The structure of non-ionic polysaccharide which we have represented, this is like this. A potential use of non-ionic polysaccharide is the rheology modifier or thickener in cosmetic formulation. The example of these polysaccharides like starch, maltodextrin, cyclodextrins, guar, locust bean gum, cellulose ethers, nitrocellulose, hydroxypropyl guar, all these are some of the examples of these polysaccharides. Let's have a look about the amphoteric polysaccharides. Amphoteric polysaccharides, they carry the cations as well as anion charges on the same chain, and the name amphoteric is derived from the Greek word means both. So, most amphoteric polysaccharides are semi-natural and derived from the natural polysaccharides through modification. The use of amphoteric polysaccharide is usually a challenge due to the both factor, this particular factor, that is the presence of the charges and insoluble mass in deuter ionic form. The carboxyl methyl cytogen and modified potato starch, they fall under this particular type of category. Hydrophobically modified polysaccharide and polysaccharide with the topical physiological effect, they are the two type of polysaccharide that are usually used in the preparation of different type of cosmetics. The amphoteric polysaccharides are chemically sophisticated and need formulators to explore their application. And the structure of amphoteric polysaccharide is presented in this particular figure. The pH of cosmetic formulation is also very useful, and it is very important because sometimes if there is any pH imbalance, it may create a serious problem to the skin. So the pH of a cosmetic formulation is used to classify whether the polysaccharide is cationic, anionic, or both. Some of the examples of the polysaccharides are carboxyl methyl chitosin, then this N20 hydroxy 2030 dicarboxy ethyl chitosin, and the potato starch. Let's talk about the proteins. The milk protein was the first use in the cosmetic industries, and the hydrophobicity of peptide linkage, this affects the cosmetic property of the protein like substantively to human skin, binding capacity, emulsification performance, and solubility. The protein ingredient in cosmetics, they are classified in 5 major categories of hydrolyzed protein. These are perhaps the non-hydrolyzed protein like abdomen, calcium, calcinate, protein, iron, Banchen protein. In hydrolyzed category like ammonium hydrolyzed gelatin and zinc sialoprotein. In quaternary protein such as coca aminopropyl, dimethyl aminocollagen to sulfate, hydrolyzed collagen, and hydrolyzed plant protein. The next type is condensate isochloride hydrolyzed collagen, iodized hydrolyzed sodium, subsidized gelatin, and a few other enzymatic type like amylase cartridge and glucose oxide paper. They are also under the class of these enzymes. Lather enhanced cellulosic protein is a personal care type product because lather sometimes during the shaving and other application people may require this lather, and this must be enhanced. So this is again a different type of personal care type of product. The multifunctional family of water-soluble polymer, methyl cellulose, ether, they are the extensive family of methyl cellulose and hydroxypropyl methyl cellulose polymers. They are extensively used in the personal care product. Now, proteins in skincare, when we talk about this, the proteins, they are widely used in several skincare and makeup products. Like soluble protein ingredients, they are added to the protein in all forms like gels, powders, lotion, and insoluble proteins are used for the specific applications like micronized powder of insoluble elastic keratin for use in the cosmetic powder. Then insoluble fibrous collagen, they are prepared by lipophilization of aqueous dispersion for use in the moisturizer to help them make skin smoother and shiner. The fibrin protein obtained from powder made by the fine grinding of pure silk for use in the preparation of the face makeup and other decorative products. The native product with the native protein with the higher than the average molecular weight, they are used as an ingredient to in a skincare product because of the film forming properties exhibits by them. For example, soluble collagen, and because of the structure and the length of the molecular, they are able to form a colloidal film on the surface of the skin and creating a soft feel. Now, cleansing is again, you can say, the very important phenomena in the skin care. So, let's talk about the protein in cleansing care. The protein additives can be used to improve the tolerability of the skin and eyes in cleansing product. It also provides protection from adverse effects such as skin dehydration and roughness. The protein fatty acid with high molecular weights, they are reported to be effective in increasing the tolerability of the eyes and skin to various anionic tensides. The same can be verified by the red blood cell test. The quaternized derivative of the protein, they are reported to exhibit anti-irritant properties when used in anionic based cosmetic products. Some of these examples are sodium lauryl sulfate, coca mid propylamine, disodium coco amphodiacetate. Now, hair care. Again, the people are more and more cautious about the hairs, and especially they are more concerned towards the hair care. So, protein are also used in the hair care. So, protein and their derivatives, they are used in hair hygiene and care formulation, including the shampoos, conditioner, coloring lotions, hair straightening products likewise. Now, it has been proven that protein help in the increasing the strength, elasticity and the softness of the hair, and they can also help in the repairing of split and protect from the adverse effect of bleaching. The different protein derivatives, they have been observed to be useful for a specific hair treatment, and the dose range varies with the formulation. The hair conditioning observed with the protein may due to the property of the gel absorbed or react with the cuticle keratin. Some proteins, they get attached to the hair keratin, which are also used in shampoo formulation with the shorter times of contact for shampooing products. Now, the protein and conditioning of hair can be achieved in application conditioning which are non-favorable. The protein hydrostates and their derivatives are also used in shampoo, and when tested they show increase in the tensile strength. The protective effect, it was observed by many scientists to be more prominent in quaternized derivatives rather than parent hydrolysate. When tested the protein hydrostate of wheat, this was more effective than collagen hydrolysate, because it may be because of a higher hydrophobicity. This can be exhibited by the wheat protein. Let's talk about the silicon. So, over past 50 years, silicon materials, they have been used in hair care and skin care in the cosmetic industry. The incorporation of the silicon into skin care products is quite new as compared to the hair formulation. So, Revlon was the first to launch a skincare lotion containing silicon. The increased use of silicon in cosmetics, this can be attributed to the technological development in suspending agent and processes such as emulsification and associative thickening. Organofunctional silicons, they has the additional advantage of providing multifunctional benefits of the formulation. Now, silicon and its composites, they are used in the cosmetics like deodorant, shampoos, antiperspirant, sometimes the skincare lotions. Now, the silicon derived from the natural product, this is known as a silica basic, and it can be used in personal care product after appropriate chemical modification. Biomethane and cyclomethane, they are the example of the modified silicon that are used in the personal care products like waterproofing silkiness of hair, and the cream as a water resistant, lubricating and massaging agent, as well as in anti-aging and anti-wrinkle creams. Some of the examples of silicon polymers are cyclomethicones, dimethicones, then amidomethicones. Now, dimethylene and dimethicone, they are the two types of silicon with the ability to spread uniformly into the thin film over the surface of the hair. They can provide the hydrophobicity to the skin of the surface and hair. The added lubricity and humidity resistant into the hair creams may provide a path to protect skin. To increase the durability of the thin film, whatever used on the skin and hair, high molecular weight, the dimethicone gums or silicone resin can be added into formulation. Alkyne modified silicone, they are also popularly known as ARMS, is used in skincare sunscreens and the cosmetic product to form a barrier onto the skin, so that the adverse effect of UV radiation cannot be penetrated into the skin. Cyclomethicones. The cyclomethicones, they are the colorless, non-polar, low viscosity fluid with characteristic odor and high volubility. They are insoluble in water but partially soluble in organic solvents, and they are represented by ring structure containing silicons, and commercially used silicons have 3,6 silica and 3,4 oxygen group per ring. Cyclomethicones, they are used as a carrier or diluents in hair care products as they help in uniform delivery of fluid with high molecular weights to hair fibers. Cyclomethicones, they are useful in conditioners and shampoos as they support wet combing, but it is recommended to add external thickener and stabilizing agent. Now, some researchers, they have reported an impressive use of cyclomethicones as a shine enhancer to hair, because everybody is more concerned about the shining over the hair. Now, here you see that this is the typical structure of cyclomethicone. Now, in luster formulation, they are used to provide uniform dispersion of material in the formulation, and cyclomethicone have a low heat vaporization property that makes them suitable to be applied in hair skin care formulation for shorter times. Cyclomethicones, they exhibit the lower value of evaporation, so they can also be employed in the system where the low friction is required, like skincare applications. Amodimethicones. Now, amodimethicones is a fluid that is polymerized by emulsion prepared by the linear processing technology, and its emulsification is performed by the mechanical route. The functional aminosilicones may be linear or branched in structure. In both cases, they undergo a condensation reaction while drying and forming film on hair and provide wet as well as dry combing advantage. They lower the effect of charge and increase the softness of hair when used in hair formulation. So, this is the structural representation. Dimethicones. Dimethicone is referred to as a capped silicon polymer because of the attachment of non-reactive trimethyl silyl as the end group. On the other hand, dimethiconol is uncapped polymer that may undergo the self-condensation in drying and hydroxyl methyl end units. Dimethicone and dimethyl uniformly and readily spread on hair skin, resulting in the formulation of thin hydrophobic film, providing the lubricity, increase in shine, protection of hair from humidity, and generating a breathable barrier on the skin. These dimethicone can be used as a defoamer to protect from soaping effect in the formulation containing the fatty alcohol. And these polymers have high diffusivities for gases. This allows the respiration of the skin, and therefore several of these are used as skin protector. Dimethicone liquid formulations are used in skin care to lubricate and make the skin soft. They are having the high molecular weight gums. They are used as a main ingredient in color cosmetics and sunscreen lotion. Dimethyl silicon fluids, they are used as one of the main ingredient in some bleaching and dyeing formulation. Now, lather enhancer cellulose in personal care. The methocell cellulose ether, they are the polymers and that are soluble in water and belong to the class of the polymer having the wide range of application in cosmetics like thickener, in liquid, and a binder in solid formulation. Now, methocell products, they are also act as a film former, lubricant, lather enhancer, and gelling agent in personal care product. Now, alkyl ethoxylate sulfate and sodium salt of the ethylene, the staloalkyl triethylene sulfate, they are used in the lather enhancer and cleaning agent. Now, commercially prepared hydroxyl group, they are the water soluble non-ionic cellulose ethers that are used in the personal care product like body washer, shaving creams as thickener, and lather enhancer. Let's talk about the application of acetylene derived polymer for cosmetics. A German chemist, Walter Repp, they invented the polyvinyl pyrrolidine PVP from acetylene by a process known as Reppe process. Now, in this process, a high temperature and a pressure condition, acetylene is allowed to react with the formaldehyde to give the methanedione. The methadione on the oxidation gave a gamma butyrolactane. It further reacting with the ammonia produced 2-pyrrolidone that finally yield to give PVP or methyl vinyl ether series of polymer. These type of polymers have film forming capacity and are proving to be important ingredient in hair styling product. Leptin-based polymers, they are the functionally active and they are used in the various personal care products like hair sprays, hair styling gels, hair conditioning agent, teeth whitening agents, and waterproofing sunscreens. And these PVPs has ability to form thin film due to the less frictional properties and ability to thicken the medium compounded with properties like lubricant, skin protect, adhesion, promoters, gelling agent in cosmetic use for the personal care. These PVP has been used in both pharmaceutic and its cosmetic industry as well as in food and industry as an adhesion agent in the pen industry. Now, in pharmaceutical industry, PVP is used as a binder and it is also used as a disintegrating agent. Now, let's talk about the cosmetics used in chitin and chitosan. Chitin and chitosan, they are not found in the skin of human, but when they are applied on the skin, they speed up the wound healing process and minimizing the scarring. The chitin fibers, they are prepared by weight splitting in 14% of sodium hydroxide solution and used as non-allergic, dualizing, antibacterial and moisturizer controller in cosmetics. Now, chitin is a highly effective hydrating agent and it supplies water and it avoids dehydration and provides long-lasting hydration effect. Chitin and derivatives allow active principle in close contact with the skin, and chitosan is the only naturally occurring cationic polysaccharide. Now, these are the chitosans. They are the random copolymer comprising of N-acetyl beta D 1,4 glucosamine and beta D 1,4 glucosamine, generally in the proportion of 1:4. Now, chitosan salt have a strong affinity to anionic structure of skin and hair. It is an important film forming polysaccharide that is widely used in cosmetic formulation and hair shampoos. Chitosan also facilitates the formation of thin film on the skin surface that keeps the active ingredient intact onto the skin, and they are used in skin cream, shampoos, skin lotion and varnish. So at last, the polymer, or in nutshell, the polymer plays a very vital role in cosmetic formulation, and cosmetic products contain different type of polymer as per their intended function. Now, you see that we discussed about the five main type of polysaccharide-based polymers. They are used and we were studies and they are used as a thickener and stabilizing agent. We discussed about the protein and derivative. They exhibit the properties like substantive binding capacities, solubility, film formulation, emulsifying performance that makes them well suited for the cosmetic formulation. We discussed about the silicone and their derivatives with their anti-wrinkle creams and makeup formulation. For your convenience, we have enlisted a couple of references which you can utilize. Thank you very much.